coordinator Amos Peterson, Alex Jenkins and Zach Coleman. And today they're up against the Armed Forces team of Trooper Connor Burks, Major Will Morby, Officer Cadet Jonty Barlow and Captain Paddy Self. Both two-go teams, and they're going to be a great game today. So we're going to warm up, but at 2:15 they're ready to rock and roll. So the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy, ladies and gentlemen, goes back in history to a wonderful man who's long dead now, but was a great friend of mine, ex-director of the National Stud,
10 seconds.
Bengal Lancer and the Skinner's Horse, the first Bengal Lancers, called Douglas Gray. Douglas Gray was a mentor of mine when
hello and a very warm welcome to you to Tedworth Park Polo Club here in the heart of Hampshire on the Wiltshire border for the 2022 running of the Rundle Cup, a competition that dates back all the way to 1910, would you believe, and Malta. But we are here today, first of all, for the very first of these events, which is the Indian Polo Association match between the British Forces, the Combined British Forces, UK Armed Forces and the American Forces. And believe me, it's such a hot day here today. The temperature has gone right through the roof here. We were here first thing this morning getting everything set up. It was nice and cool, but the temperature has risen. I think we can expect some very, very interesting polo indeed. You'll probably hear the dulcet tones in the background here of Colonel Ledger, Simon Ledger, who is very much a legend of these parts when it comes to commentary. He'll be looking after the commentary for us as well today. Two teams for this first match will be out very, very shortly, and we'll be covering the whole of this game, and indeed we'll also be covering the Rundle Cup itself. I'm going to disappear into the commentary box itself, and we will give you some really nice pictures as the teams get themselves prepared and ready for this very first match of the afternoon. We have two games taking place, of course, and we are looking forward very much indeed to a great day's polo. Starting off with the US military team against the UK Armed Forces Polo Association.
We'll see that lovely trophy later on. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be warming up, and you can see some of the players out there already. The fellow in the red hat on the grey pony on the far side, Zach Coleman, gentleman cadet at A&M University, Texas, doing a degree in public information. Captain Beth Bile with the black hat with the yellow stripe on the left there, and in the middle in the grey hat. We'll just check him out, but I think that's Alex Jenkins, Amos Peterson I should say, Lieutenant Colonel, a vet, and I'll give you their full descriptions when they form up in front of me. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're both two goals, and the timings now are getting very close to the match. We've got about 5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, and it's good that everybody's having a good time, but settle down, settle down, settle down. And we're ready to march on, and we're going to get the teams down at the far end, and then I'm going to do an introduction because we're fed into British Forces broadcasting service. So whilst they form up, I'm just going to have a chat with John because we're going out live on YouTube and TikTok and elsewhere around the world, and already people have tuned in from the United States of America.
Could we ask for Tim Brown to come to the commentary box for missing the umpire?
Well, very shortly we'll have a very quick word with Simon ourselves live here on the Forces News Facebook and YouTube. Simon, you're a very busy man today, obviously doing all the commentary, but it's great to have be here and be live all the way from Tedworth. I know that this is going all around the world, and particularly, of course, the United States.
Yeah, and it's marvellous because we've got this US military team here. This is the first touring team since before COVID, and it's a very exciting day, especially as we've got such a great group of players from the US military, colonels, privates, cadets, the whole lot. And it's a series of 3 matches. This is the second. The Armed Forces Polo Association won the first match the other day, and it was pretty close. So we're going to see what happens today. For this, the Field Marshal Sir John Chappell series, but each day there's a different cup played for. This cup today is a trophy, in fact. It's the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy that actually tells the story and reminds us where polo was born for the British Army, which was in India in 1850. And years ago, when I was first commentating here, we found this trophy, and it was to be presented because all the boys in those days were in their 80s. That was 20 years ago. There are not any left, so we're done. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the scene for this match, the first match on our card here this afternoon on Arundel Cup Day 2022, and then we get on at 4 o'clock with the battle between the Royal Navy and the British Army.
Thank you, Simon. And you can hear, obviously, Simon's dulcet tones will be popping out right across the airwaves all around Tedworth Park today as the two teams are now coming out onto the pitch. Simon mentioned that first match, of course, which was played on Thursday, a victory, in fact, for UK Armed Forces by 9-5, and they played the third and final match in that series, which the Chapel Cup, which will be coming up tomorrow at Guards Polo Club. But we are right ready to go for the first of today's events, the first of the matches. But we have had some polo already today. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on. But we're looking forward indeed to this very first ever live broadcast on British Forces News of the polo. I'll hand you over now to Simon Ledger.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to the stirring tune of Over Here, a warm welcome to our American cousins for the first time in many years indeed. And I'm going to ask the flags to be taken so that they don't upset the head ponies today. And I'm going to ask the team, introduce the two teams to you. So, as Brigadier Nick Cowley, the chair of the Armed Forces Polo Association, and our host here today, and our guest rather, takes the flag back. Well done, sir. Our manager of the United States polo team, the military polo team here today. So we'll wait for everybody to get clear of the boards, and then we'll crack on with this first match this afternoon here on Arundel Cup Day 2022. And thank you very much indeed, both of you, for bringing that on. And playing at number one today for our guests here, the US military team in white, North player Captain Beth Biles. She is a vet. She's based at Fort Myer, and she looks after the ceremonial horses in DC, Washington DC. At number two today, in the grey hat, another North player, Lieutenant Colonel Amos Peterson, based at Fort Belvoir, as they call it in America, another veterinary officer, but his job is to train the new vets into the United States military. At number three, a one-goal player. He had a great game the other day, as they all did. Petty Officer Alex Jenkins of the United States Navy, based in Virginia. And he's at the Army Polo Club nearby, and he specialises in intelligence. And bringing up the quartet, or another one guy in the red hat, Zach Coleman, gentleman cadet at the NNM Texas University, and he is specialising his degree in public information. Now for the Armed Forces Polo team, and it's a very big day for a couple of these players. Playing at number one today on his commanding officer's ponies, who's on duty in Norfolk, is Trooper Connor Bucks of the Royal Horse Guards Dragoons, otherwise known as the Blues and Royals. His first ever proper polo match, he plays off at -1. And he's on Colonel Tom Armitage's ponies today. Our thanks to Georgie for bringing them down. Playing at number two today, let's have a look at him. It's going to be a new man to Army Polo. it is Officer Cadet Jonty Polo. Jonty is a very well-known player down from Caddington Park Polo Club. He's a member of the Bristol University Officer Training Corps and starts his regular careers course at Sandhurst on the 11th of September. Welcome to Army Polo, Jonty, and we'll see how he goes today. Playing at 3 today, a long-time stalwart. Is that you? Who's at 3? You are. Why aren't you in position? But anyway, it is Major Will Morby, ladies and gentlemen, from the Royal Yeomanry, formerly in the Royal Artillery. He's from full-time regular service, and he's a wonderful chap, played brilliantly the other day, the Armed Forces Polo Association captain, and also on the board of the Army Polo and Assurance. And then finally, the man himself was the Army Polo Secretary, Captain Paddy Self of the King's Royal Hussars, a 2-goal player. He just spent 8 months in Iraq, then he got back 2.5 weeks ago, straight onto a horse, and he is leaving the Army very sadly in the autumn. There's a huge tour de force for Army Polo for many years. We'll see him in action. Our 2 umpires today were very well known to me. They are wonderful guys. They know their jobs. Roddy Stanning and Leon Allen. Leon, nice to see you here. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a hell of a fun fight here for the Indian Cavalry Officers Association Trophy, the second match of this United States military touring team. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. May I welcome all those from the United States of America who are part of this tour, their families, fathers and managers, and a very, very warm welcome to you. It's fantastic to see you here, and a great chance for us, the British, to return many years of hospitality in the past. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to form up. We've got Trooper Connor Burks of the Royal Horse Guards Dragoons, otherwise known as the Blues and Royals, playing his commanding officer's ponies. And the 2 captains being spoken to there by the chief umpire. And Justin White. So take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to rock and roll just as soon as the formalities have been done. And a warm welcome to you all. There's a VW Golf, Tim Brown's. These 3 cars are still misparked. They've got to be moved. VW Golf, OMO 16NHG, Toyota Yaris, WN14 ZPF, Vauxhall Viva, HG 65TZH, must be moved as soon as possible. A welcome to all our guests from the hospitality tents behind us here, and our thanks to all our supporters, Palantir, and of course the other teams. There's Jason. Hi Jason, how are you doing? From we're going to rock and roll later on. Got a nice glass of wine in your hand there, Jason. Good to see you. And the other guests from the lunch today, I hope you've all got a hat, because it's going to boil today, as the very correctly dressed figure of our Director of Polo here in Tidworth, and give him a chair, ladies and gentlemen. He's done a great deal of work. Bring it here, Justin Stanley White, strides off the pitch. Justin, great job. So, we're ready to rock and roll. Hold on to your hats. It's going to be fast. It's going to be good. In goes the ball. And it's taken on by Zach Coleman on his stroke on the offside. And he takes it down towards the boards here. And bounces off the boards. For those of you new to the game of polo, you can hit it on all 2 sides of the polo. You can hit it forward on the right-hand side. That's the offside. You can hit it on the left-hand side. That's the near side. When you hear that, we call that. And then you can hit it on the near side, on left hand, backwards and forwards. And they're known as backhanders. And hitting the ball on the left-hand side is the most difficult shot in polo. Polo handicap start at -2 and then go up to +10. Amateurs tend to play at this level. The highest handicap player on the pitch today is Paddy Self. And the 2 umpires know their stuff here today. Leon Allen and Roddy Stanning, thanks to their
So I was just agreeing with him. It's off the sticks, it's scratched today.
Correct.
And we'll go to penalties if it's extra time, because we need a result.
So it is indeed
Yeah, it's 2 goals.
2 goals all. These teams, the Americans looking threatening now. As Zach Coleman comes in, just clearing the fact that this match is going to be played off handicap to dates, and they're both 2, and it's going to be very dangerous indeed. Great goal, great goal, great goal as they're in the lead here already. The Americans into a great start, ladies and gentlemen. The back to the middle, and we'll see now more about this great man, Douglas Gray, who presented this trophy. He was too old to stay on in the British Army after 1947, when India was partitioned and handed back to the nation, and he stayed off. Here comes Paddy Self now on the far side. This King's Royal Azar, just back from Iraq, where he was working strangely for. That's a great shot by Paddy Self. He really launched into that, but it's going to trickle wide of the left-hand post. So you can see the threat that the power of the better players have in this great game. Now, the great thing about this game, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be fit. You've got to be focused. You've got to be brave. And you've got to work as a team. Oh, that's a great shot out there by the number 2. That's a good one. He really launched into that. So the Americans, but it's backed by Paddy Self, comes off a Paddy. Here comes Barlow. John D. Barlow turns it. He's in the maroon hat with the blue peak, and it's taken on by Morby. Here comes Connor Burks. Connor Burks to the first strike. Doesn't quite get hold of it, never mind. It's going to be played at a fast level today. Paddy Self tells them to get on as they try and back each other up. Paddy Self now takes the ball round, digging it out. And now he'll back it. Lovely shot by Paddy Self. And a backhander there. You saw it lofting low. Is he going to go all the way through? Where is it? Where is it? Goal! And a goal back there by Paddy Self. He really launched into that one. And typical Paddy. He's up on fire today. This is his last appearance in this game, I should think. He'll play veterans matches, of course. But he captained the victorious Royal Cup team last year for the Army and beat the Royal Navy. So welcome to all the guests of Palantir and all the companies connected to it. I'll run through with you at half time. Connor Burks, this South African recruit, and he's off to a good start as they come blundering through. Will Morby tries to get a touch. Zach Coleman now. Zach Coleman turns, and it's the number 2, Amos Peterson now, picks it up for the United States military, taking it on. This Lieutenant Colonel, Army vet, going on, and they're trying to shut him down. They're going to have to try and shut him down, and it's Connor Burks. Or was that a foul? The 2 umpires decide, and if you hear the whistle goes, don't pay too much attention to the clock, ladies and gentlemen. The reason is that Polo manager's nightmare this morning was that when they trialled the clock, the motor caught fire and burnt out. So now we've got the team over the other side, and they are doing it. Our thanks to the Dodsworth family, who are all in force here today. So it's going to be a penalty to the American military. It's going to be the number 3 here, Petty Officer Jenkins. And where's the ball gone? It's gone wide. Good Lord. But is it a 60? Is it what we call a Polo equivalent? I wonder. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're short of hair like me, you probably need a hat. So if you haven't got one, I suggest you put your scarf on your head, otherwise you're going to burn. And lots of water today. So for those of you new to the game, what happens now is that the ball is hit from the 60-yard line, opposite to where the ball was put out by the defending player. So we've now got, at least I believe that's the case.
We've committed lots of penalty changes.
Those of you who think there's a lot going on, there's Admiral Sir Tim Fraser. Welcome, sir. And he is presenting the Rundle Cup prizes today. It's very nice to see you here in such a busy time when the senior service is stamping its authority in the oceans around the world. And Flag Lieutenant to the Chief of the Defence Staff is playing today for the Royal Navy, Max Cosby. And we've got Commander Ark here as well. Welcome to the new Commander Ark, who's going to take his stand, his place in the stand. It took over from General Sir Ed Smith Osborne just recently. So here we go. Pony's changed, and the polo manager's job, in fact it's going to be a hit in, not a safety 60. Here we go, Burke's now coming up, can he get the ball away? And he's having a tussle there. Lovely backhander by Zach Coleman. Pony self leans out, tries to meet it. Now that's normally fatal if a player is coming down. Now what's he going to do? He's going to take it round. But Beth Barr's coming to shut him down, but not this time. Paddy Self, lovely shot towards us here. Watch out, watch out. He's got a very powerful hit. Here he goes. This captain in the King's Royal is ours. For the head post by him. He's off on a charge here, and he's still on it. Here comes, well picked up by Conor Burks, the -1. The trooper, he takes it down. Looking dangerous, but Will Morby tries to pick it up. It's going to be fast and furious, this game. You've got to hang onto your seats. We've got about 4 minutes to go in this chukka. It's going to be taken on now by the United States military. And that is the number 3, Alex Jenkins. Alex, oh, whistle goes. This is good polo, ladies and gentlemen. You won't see better. Hi, Tim. How are you doing? There he is. Do you want a hat, Tim? He's not listening to me. The trouble is with us guys who don't have much hair. Timothy? Do you want a hat? You're going to burn. So you cook an egg on his head later on, ladies and gentlemen, as it's taken in by Paddy Self. Paddy Self looks above him here. He's a very fine player indeed, and Zach Coleman is going to be around him, and he's had his pocket pinched. He was rather too casual there, and they ignored him. So now it's Zach Coleman coming down. Lovely shot by the one-gainer, the American gentleman cadet from Texas A&M University, and that's very sad. His father's here today as well. I'm probably going to have a chat to him at half-time. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you new to the game, the rules are, if you are running with the line of the ball on your offside, that is the right of way. If you're travelling up a motorway outside DC, if you're American or indeed M3 here, and that nasty little Golf GTI cuts you up and goes across the lane, then it's the same in polo. Here comes Paddy Self once again, going hell for leather. It's a lovely shot by him. Who's he going to find? Oh, it's bounced off a pony, and now it's Barlow. Jonty Barlow, the one-gainer, up from Kirtlington, and he goes for goal, and he goes for goal, and he's put it wide of the right-hand post. That's a good rumble made by Paddy Self. Good teamwork. Knock in, far end. Who's going to take it? Let's have a look.
Literally a little bit.
Is it too much? Thank you. So Matt put him straight. How's that, Matt? Is that better? Good man. They're real pros, this lot, the amplified sound. So he's now taken on now. Here we go. Coleman backs it, bounces off a pony. As nicely done by Will Morby. Can they get it in a position? Now it's Jonty Barlow, who's a sticky, backy-lacky, and it's a great goal by Jonty Barlow. Barlow scores his first goal for Army Polo, the first of many, I'm very sure. And
Let's go, Paddy. Let's go.
yeah. His first goal.
Later at some point.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the first period of play, and they're going off the end of the first chukka. If any of you have got any questions, and it's great that we've got the British Forces Broadcasting Service with us here with John. I hope they're enjoying it. How are they getting on viewing this, understanding it?
Well, hopefully. I mean, your commentary is actually helping everyone to understand it as well, which is absolutely brilliant. But just remind us, every time a goal is scored, you change ends. That might have been a bit confusing for people.
I was coming on to that, and thank you very much, John. Yes, and the tradition for that goes right back in history, when grounds were not on the pitch you play on was not like this. You may have had a bump here or curtained off here, and
and therefore to make it fair, each time a goal was scored, you swapped ends. So that tradition has continued in all international polo throughout the world now, and you always change ends, however pristine the pitch is, even this one.
And it's pretty pristine today.
Yes, it is, and Andy Spate, the groundsman here, this ex-Royal of Court Transport veteran who played in one of the morning games, he did all this along under the watchful eye of Justin Stannard-White, the director of polo here.
Now, one thing maybe you could explain to us as well is how the handicap system works, because we started at 2-all, didn't we? Why was that?
Well, because that's the cumulative score of each individual in the polo team. So every player is rated. If you're a beginner, then you're a -2. If you played a couple of years and you're any good, you go up to -1. If you progress and you're playing regularly, you go up to 0 or scratch. As you get better off that 0, you go up to 1, 2, and you could go as high as 10. But normally players who have 3 or 4 are above, are professionals. That's the way it works.
Okay, I think that explains it very carefully.
Just talking to British Forces Broadcasting Services here, who are broadcasting around the world to all our servicemen, whether they be on ships, air bases in Akrotiri or anywhere else. And it's the first time we've done it, John.
It's the first time ever. Yeah, we've been live on our Forces News Facebook and YouTube channels today, and it's great. And it's such a stiflingly hot day too. You're quite right about people wearing hats.
Indeed, and I thought it was going to be cool this morning, but this weather is all cleared up, so it's going to be a hot day. Please look after yourselves and drink plenty of water. Thanks, John.
Thanks very much indeed, Simon. He's going back to do the commentary. We're about to start the second half here. The score at the moment then is the UK Armed Forces leading the USA on handicap by 4 goals to 3. So 2 goals to 1 actually is. We don't count apparently. I'm learning as we go. We don't count apparently the handicap score. So in fact it is 2-1 at the moment to the team playing in the blue shirts, which of course is the UK Armed Forces.
And just to explain that, ladies and gentlemen, what you do is that each player's score is added into, so all 4 contribute to the handicap of the team. So in this case you've got -1, +1 and 0 and a 2-goal player. So that means that you are a 2-goal team. So is America. So what you do is that there's no handicap difference, therefore you play off evens.
A scratch scoring.
Correct. And although the handicaps count, if there was a difference, you would apply a formula to it, and some teams receive half a goal if they're behind on the handicap, the cumulative handicap.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure there'll be loads more questions as well as we move ourselves forward throughout the competition. But the half-time score then, as Simon said, it's 2-1 in favour of the UK Armed Forces team. Remember, they won the first match, which took place on Thursday by 9 goals to 5 in this 3-match series.
Quite hot in here. And,
very shortly, going back to the commentary from Simon on the competition. Of course, he's also doing the ground announcements today as well. So we are underway.
3 more scores for the Armed Forces in the second period of play. So it is 3-1. No goal. Oh, for heaven's sake. I know, but don't tell me, because to get somebody out there, I haven't got a radio. So, ladies and gentlemen, the score should be 3-1. 3-1. Scoreboard. 3-1, please. Thank you. And the ball is thrown in again. 3-1 to the AFPA. Thank you very much. And as Paddy Self lines up for a big one, digs it out of a bit of a divot, and he's barged and hunted down by Alex Jenkins. Done. Now they'll turn. Can they get it round? Zach Coleman. Now watch this kid go. But he's had a ball pinched off him by Burkers. This young trooper who's down from his annual camp as Zach Coleman tries a bouncing ball, a bit unkind to him there, and is well picked up by blasting through is Alex Jenkins. That was a good bit of play by him. Lovely backhand. Now who's going to pick it up? Connor Burkers takes his time. Good shot by him. Great shot by him to centre it up. Whoa, whoa, whoa! As there was that a whistle? Yeah, it was. I thought so. Now you can see the benefit of the line of the ball, and what happened there was, and why I went whoa, 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 is because the ball was doing a path and Polo's ponies and players were converging like no business. So there was going to be trouble there. And they're coming up to ask the referee. And it's Leon. I'm going to speak to Leon. Gentlemen, they didn't hear the chukka bell because of the wind, so the real score is still 2-1. 2-1 to the Armed Forces Polo Association. So that goal was scored out of time, but it is now 3-1. That penalty having been, and I'm not sure who took that while I was speaking to Leon. Was it Paddy Self? I'm sure it was. So it is 3-1 after all. Thanks, Leon, for that. And very difficult to hear the bell. You're going to have to ring it loud up. In they go. Burkers, Barlow, Morby and Self sound rather like a disreputable firm of undertakers to me, but it's taken away by Coleman. Zach Coleman drives the ball, didn't quite get hold of it. No, it takes a lot of skill and courage, and this guy goes really well. And Barlow is hunting him down. Barlow just rides him off. Good bit of play by Barlow. And now, Paddy Self. He has not missed a backhand today. Wonderful piece of play, but the whistle did go. And not sure what happened there, which is the reason why we have two umpires. And that reason is because the different angle from the side and where I am, you cannot tell what is going on. So the umpires are spread out, and it's going to be against the Armed Forces Polo Association. A player judged to cross the precious line, so a chance to get a goal back for the United States military team. It's going to be Petty Officer Alex Jenkins of the US Navy, based in Virginia, and he works in intelligence. So Petty Officer Alex Jenkins, let's see how he goes. Drives the ball down, great goal by him, so that's his second goal today. No, it's his first goal today, ladies and gentlemen. So Alex Jenkins scores 3-2 the score, back to the middle. So it's all about keeping your discipline. It's all about keeping your head. And that will apply also at every level. Oh, look, there's Lamont Kirkland. Hi, Lamont. How are you? Very smart pair of green trousers. Not as smart as mine, though. I wouldn't have worn a blue jacket today if I were you, but anyway. Anyway, it's taken on by that's wonderful. He just got the ball away. Did Zach Coleman. Coleman takes it up on the far side. Takes it up on the near side too. He's going to go for break now. That's a great shot by him. Is it going to go? Is it going to go? Is it going to go? Wide. Never mind. And they bring the ball back. So let off for the Armed Forces Polo Association there. A let off. And we'll see what happens now. Which way is he going to take it is Paddy Self. So watch the way they move. Watch Burkers along here. And there's Beth Biles on the far side. Paddy is going to be looking for someone to take it through. He's not going to bash it up, but Zach Coleman's after him. Here comes Paddy Self. And, yes, I thought so. And he just waited. He knew he had the line of the ball. And Paddy Self just waited and tempted the other player to come across him. And that was the whistle. So I think I know which way that one's going to go. Barlow and Self playing nicely. Will Morby had a cracking game the other day. He scored 5 goals in the previous match at Druids Lodge on Thursday. And it's going to be against the United States military team. These two umpires we got today, Roddy Stanning and Leon Allen, know their business. Roddy Stanning, a 3-goal player. Here comes Paddy now. And by the way, the clock starts when he hits the ball. Zach Coleman, that's a great shot. Pumps it through. He's going to try and find Barlow. That was a good passing shot. This is how the game should be played. And Barlow put off it by Jenkins. Coleman is there. He'll take it round in a circle. There's Paddy Self with the shot of the day. What a goal by Paddy Self. What a goal, what a goal. That's what two goalers do. He took his time and he measured it. You won't see better on Smith's lawn on a Sunday afternoon. Come to Tidworth instead. And that guy spent 7.5 months in Iraq, in Baghdad, and only got back 3 weeks ago. Wonderful. Give him a cheer. And that takes real skill. And he was adjutant of his regiment. He was the safety officer in Canada, so he's been around a bit now. The Americans are getting steamed up here. Come Paddy Self, sticks Zach Coleman, trying to get away. Coleman, going to have a go. Coleman, what you can do, I can do. But not quite. He just inches it past the right-hand post. And I'd just like to thank our goal judges here today. They're from the Dodsworth family, who've been long-time supporters and workers here at the Tedworth Park Polo Club. Dodsworth both and over at the scoreboard. Thank you very much indeed as play restarts, as it's taken out of deep by Paddy Self. Zach Coleman is still there. And Barlow, look at the way he plays. Barlow knows what's coming. Alex Jenkins trying to blast past the petty officer from the US Navy. He's had a good game. Doesn't miss in front of goal. Paddy Self drifts one through. Here comes Boykers. Trooper Boykers of the Royal Horse Guards Dragoons. He used to play polo cross before he left South Africa. A good horseman, didn't quite get hold of that one. Only been playing polo for a couple of years. Lovely cut shot by Jonty Barlow, this officer cadet. But the whistle goes. So Jonty Barlow down from Curlington Park this weekend. His first time playing for the Armed Services. Heads for Sandhurst on the 11th of September. And he's a real find, this lad. He's going to put in an appearance for the Rupert Thornley Day up at Curlington Park on the 24th of July in support of the Welsh Guards. And ladies and gentlemen, this is turning into a real dogfight. We've got a minute and a half left before I'm going to invite you to get out and do some divot stomping. And just someone, when you go out, pick up the little white ball in front of me. It would be good. And Lamont, didn't you tell Tim to bring a... Oh, thank you, Johnny. Always have a Rogers on hand. Don't fall over the board now, Johnny. There he goes, elegantly done. This is Colonel Johnny Rogers, great friend of mine, ex-Royal Czar and an ex-three-goal player and organiser of polo here at Tidworth. I used to play in his teams and he taught me an awful lot about polo, but he was much better than I ever was. But he's creaky a bit now. Stand up straight, Johnny, for God's sake. Thank you, Johnny. And 4-3. So, another goal as we were distracted by J.J. Rogers leaping out. Thank you very much, John. And in goes the ball. They'll swap ends again. We've got about a minute to go. It's taken away by Barlow, being hassled by Zach Coleman. But Barlow on a nice, plain, lovely little stroke by him. Now, who's going to take it? Burkers coming in behind him. That's good play by Trooper Burkers. He understands it, and he's going to flick it forward. But Beth did a great job on him and rode him off. And now there's going to be a chance for America to get the US military team, and it's that man, Alex Jenkins, this petty officer, who gets the ball away, and it's gone into the middle. Barlow's got to be careful now, and it's helped on its way by Amos Peterson, this left hand. Oh, that's a great shot. Now that's brilliantly done. Here comes Zach Coleman. This could equal the scores. He's just got to keep it there. Possetti himself will put it out to the flank. No, he's going to take it on the offside. That's clever play. Always take it out wide in defence. That's the great skill of this game. Take it wide. Comes in front of the Queen's Royal Czar 10, who are in the interregimental final tomorrow against the Royal Air Force on the number 2 ground. And if you want to come to that, let me know. unless you're bored with my voice, as Zach Coleman brings it down. Zach Coleman running it to goal, and brilliant stuff. It's still looking dangerous though for Armed Forces. Here we go, and Paddy Self tells Burkers don't worry as he leaps out. Look at this pony go, look at this lovely pony, and I'd just like to thank Tessa and Grant Collett for supplying the Army ponies today. They're in great form. It's good polo, lovely near side backhander by Zach Coleman. That's just sublime. Now Barlow, this young man from the University Officers Training Corps in Bristol. Oh, what a shot! What a shot! What a shot! It's going to go wide. Yo, 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 yo. This is great polo. You will not see anywhere better. Let's get going. So, end-to-end stuff here. Could go either way. 4 plays 3. And I think that's half-time. Is that the chukka break? Where are we? Umpires? Is that half-time? Half-time it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shut up for a bit. I'm going to get you off. Take a walk, grab a hat, and don't be disguised and put off by the fact that what you think is a divot may be horse poo. But by all means, stamp in it if you wish, but you won't be very popular on the way home in the car. So, off we go. And Dickie Winchester will take the lead. Dickie, thank you. I love the scarf. Brilliant. Michael Vickery is here, another ex-3 goal player, 40th, 20th commanding officer in the Gulf War. Brilliant stuff.
Well, while Simon is just getting his breath back after that extraordinary commentary, let's just survey the scene in front of us, because as you can see, whereas in most sports the crowd are definitely told not to go anywhere near the pitch, well, this is just the opposite. Everyone now going onto the pitch to stamp down those divots. It's part of the tradition of this sport, of course, and it's what makes it absolutely unique here. But as Simon Ledger said there, make sure that you know where you're walking, because some of the divots might not necessarily be divots. But I think we've enjoyed a sensational first half there of really excellent polo. Paddy Self, of course, has really outshone everyone, hasn't he, so far in this match so far. But it's neck and neck, isn't it? 4-3. It just shows how quickly that a match can change here. Well, 1 minute you've got, you know, the UK Armed Forces team up front, going forward, pushing for a goal. They lose it, and back come the back come the United States. Well, we'll just take a bit of a break ourselves. We'll keep the picture on, of course. You'll be able to see all the action. We won't be going away anywhere. We'll take a quick breather ourselves and maybe go down and stamp a few divots ourselves. But join us again very shortly for the second part, or rather chukkers 3 and 4 of today's match between the UK Armed Forces and the US Forces as well.
Going off to work in London. He is chair of the Army Polo Association, and we're just going to do a short piece about some of this to British Forces Broadcasting Service, and as you wish. So, John, do you want to chat to Henry, or do you want to chat to me?
Let's come out here and.
What you wrote this.
Colonel, if you join me outside here, we'll do.
Are we recording or are we live?
We are live actually on the Forces News Facebook. But,
bit of warning, lads, would have been.
Well, Colonel Henry, we are live on Forces News Facebook, not in vision. We are obviously enjoying the pictures here of everyone enjoying coming out and enjoying doing the what's a fairly traditional thing, I believe, in polo.
Yeah. So traditionally, in the sort of half time between the two sort of halves,
in between everything else is going on, we've lost Ludo.
Gives everyone a sort of leg stretch, but
has
also
lost his mother and father.
Is to tread in the divots that have been created.
For those parents frantically looking for Ludo, Ludo is safely up in the commentary box in the care of a good friend of mine. So the parents of Ludo, come and collect the little chap. He's got lost in the shopping.
Traditionally, this is such
with his parents' credit card.
Yeah, this is
so
the premier match of
Ludo.
Certainly Army Polo and Royal Navy Polo, but I would say that probably for Armed Forces Polo as well, it's the main match. And actually, for Polo in the round, it's probably one of the biggest attended games of the year. You're not going to get many games better supported, better attended. Those games up at Guards Polo Club or maybe down at Cowdrey Park, you're rare to get this kind of crowd, in the UK on a summer's day watching a host of really good quality polo being played.
Well, we've certainly seen some excellent action in those first two chukkers in the first half. Really exciting. And looking at the scoreboard, it's extremely close, isn't it? It could go either way.
Very, very close. And what's really good is to see that that not only the US team have clearly bonded very well, done a bit of training before they came here. This is now their second game of their 3-match tour. They've got another game tomorrow at Guards Polo Club up near Windsor. The young team is playing is starting to gel together, which is fantastic.
Ludo is still on his pod.
Indeed, we're looking forward to it. Thanks very much, Steve, for joining us.
Father of Ludo.
Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. I'm sure the Rundle Cup is one you're very much looking forward
to. Rundle Cup is very much out there. We are waiting to see what happens. It's always a keenly contested match. Come rain or shine.
Can you walk him back?
Torrential rain on years.
So, Ludo, my dear
match that is steeped in history between the two sides, and I suspect today will be a humdinger of a match.
Well, Simon Ledger tells me it's going to be very, very close, so I tend to believe
Ludo's parents.
I think he's right.
Ludo's parents coming up.
In all polo matches, we try and match the teams by handicap.
And Ludo was very worried about his father getting lost in the crowd.
This year, the first
so he came to tell us that he was missing his father.
Span of ranks playing in the team.
I'm very glad to say, Ludo, your father's right here.
And a sailor playing in the Royal Navy team, and we've got a lieutenant colonel.
You're a good-looking chap with lots of hair.
The Rifles
no problem at all.
So, as ever, it yet again displays quite how open this game is.
So, thanks to this man who found him.
Whatever rank you are, whatever captain you are, it's open to all.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
we have female players.
He's on a Royal Marine tie.
Last year we had a Scarlet playing for the Army team. We've had a plethora of ladies playing.
For a long time.
We've had people from all walks of life backgrounds playing this.
Are you enjoying the day?
And it's something that I'm particularly striving very hard to do.
Excellent. I'm so glad
to generate a bit of interest and partnership with
it's good polo too.
To try and make sure we
can ladies and gentlemen, the time has come, the sands of time.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we're here live today, to try and
ex-30s, 80s rollers are gathering down here, some thinner than others.
On a day like this,
hi Jeremy.
simply can't go.
Hi William.
You can't, this is one of those apocryphal, quintessential English days.
Could I ask that you all begin to come back to your positions, gather up your children?
Well looked after by Justin Sanet-White and his team here at
Make sure that any lost fathers are gathered
and some
up
matches on ponies that are looking pretty special with players.
All right.
We already talked. We heard today that young Captain Paddy Self,
a lot of old friends
in operations, epitomises everything that is.
Come along, let's get back into our seats.
in
So we'll
Baghdad
get
for the last
into the
7
second
months.
half of this
3 weeks ago
World
got
Cup.
back, and he's been here and just scored the most sublime
Day,
goal. So
the Indian Cavalry
talent will
Officers
endure, but
Association
it just
trophy.
shows that, you know, our primary
Here
purpose
at
as
Tedworth Park
servicemen
Polo.
and women is to serve the Crown on operations
Clear
overseas.
the ground,
where we can,
clear
we'll
the
play sport
ground,
unavailable.
clear the
I know
ground.
this interview was unexpected, but thanks
Thank you very
for
much.
your time today, and we're delighted that you're here, and we're delighted to be here too.
Thank you so much. A real pleasure to have you here, and lovely to know
It's
that
a very
this is
hot
going
day.
out to the forces around the world who are deployed.
Roddy,
and I hope they get as much
Leon,
pleasure from hearing it and
could
watching
you
it as we
nip
are
up
today.
to the far end
Thank you very
and
much.
just make sure everybody's
Thank you.
up on the top of the bank?
There we go. Thank you from the top, really, from the Army Polo Association. We are very close to the start of the 3rd and 4th chukkers.
A lot of old
course,
friends here today.
Simon Ledger is busy
How you
doing
doing,
his
Ian?
announcements at the moment.
You look
across
just the
PA.
same.
He'll be back with
All
us
right,
very,
away.
very shortly, as will we. Don't go away. So we'll be ready to get underway very, very shortly then for the second part of this event, with the score at half-time in this UCAF versus USA match. 4-3 in favour of the UCAF team at the moment, but as we've heard, this could go absolutely in all directions. Back now to our commentator, Simon Ledger.
And we're almost back in action, and I'm very glad to see that no one actually mistook a divot for a pile of horse beer in front of us here. Be an unfortunate pong in the car if you have on the way home with this heat. Lots of water, everybody. And so settle down, here we go. The Americans underway. We now got Joe England, who's Special Forces. He's now a Black Hawk helicopter. He's a Chief Warrant Officer. He's replaced Beth Biles, so he's now on the field. And no goals, so there's no change in handicap. And this could be interesting. So where is he? We've just got to identify him. There he is, in the blue hat with the white strap. Looks a tall, strapping sort of guy. As Will Morby, this major in the the Royal Yeomanry, I should say. Now look at the ride-off, by Polo. That's brilliant stuff. And whistle goes though. Maybe it was too brilliant. Let us see. So I was talking to Zach Coleman's father over half-time, and as he said to me, he said, this is going to be an interesting tussle in the 3rd chukka. And the reason why it is that the two teams, they didn't know each other before, or they knew a couple of them. They have a chance to think about it and chat about it at half-time. And then we get on to the psychological 3rd, as I call it. At this level of polo, it's only 4 chukkers, or 4 periods of play. And the reason it's called a chukka is that originally when the British Indian Army founded the game, chukka is Hindi for a period of time. So it's still called that, and it betrays its roots from the Indian subcontinent. So, Paddy Self it is in the bright blue helmet, Will Morby in the green, Jonty Barlow in the multicoloured helmet, burgundy and blue, and young trooper Connor Burks showing the strength and depth of Army Polo. It is an Army team this time because the RAF are playing the interregimental final tomorrow for the first time up at Guards Polo Club. Be there. Here comes Paddy Self going for break, and he launches one down. It's going to set it through, and guess who's there? It's going to be Polo. All he's got to do is roll it through. Oh, and he put it wide. Oh my goodness. Oh, good Lord. I'll have a word with the officer cadet after this. Wow. Anyway, the thrills and spills of polo. Is that a missed opportunity? 4 plays 3. We've had a minute and a half. The US military will get underway. Joe England, Amos Peterson, Alex Jenkins, Zach Goldman. They'll be trying to get the ball away. Oh, what a shot by the number 3, Will Morby. Got that ball back. Barlow unmarked. Coleman waits for him, but he sifts the ball back, but there's nobody up there on the flank, so it'll be pushed back by the US military on the far side. That's a great shot. That is just a superlative shot by Alex Jenkins, and Morby's got to do it all again on the near side. He gets the ball back. Barlow now will turn. No, it's Paddy Self. As he turns, Paddy Self drills it along the side of the board in front of the Gore-Tex sign. We've got about 5 minutes to go. And oh dear, that's a very rare miss by Alex Jenkins. Now Paddy Self, all he's got to do is run it to goal, but who's following him up? And here comes Zach Coleman. Coleman coming in. Coleman. And there's the shot. Now who's following up? Will Morby. All he's got to do is strike it down. Surely great goal. Will Morby in just the right position. Whoa. 5 plays 3 in the third. Now this is the second match of the Chapel Cup series. When I was first involved in the CSPA as secretary, my chairman was Field Marshal Sir John Chappell, held by Andrew Parker Bowles. And some of you will know, particularly in the military, Field Marshal Sir John died a couple of months ago. Field Marshal Sir John was a great supporter of polo over many years and always used to come to this day and the interregimental. And this trophy, or the Series Cup, is the Chapel's Bowl. As back comes Paddy Self, and he backs it beautifully. Now who's going to take it on? Barlow knows he can't cross the line. You saw that very good polo knives by young officer cadet Barlow, because he just knew that he couldn't get across Zach Coleman's line. Therefore he avoided him. Barlow now. Barlow takes it out of trouble in front of him. That's a clever polo shot because he's changing direction. So he's got a brain, this boy. Oh, and it came off the ponies. Zach Coleman's ponies. That's the way polo can change. It can be as quick as lightning as the ball dribbles out of play. And the ball is put on the back line. Paddy Self, which way is he going to take it? He's going to take it across the goal. Here we go. Paddy Self takes it up and drives the ball down as Trooper Connor Burkers picks it up the second time. That's a good bit of play by the young man. His first time in a competitive polo match, and he's doing really well. And Barlow well ridden indeed by Amos Peterson there. Paddy Self coming in, but that was well stopped by Zach Coleman. Coleman backs it up and gives it a bit of air. Back comes Will Morby. Morby takes it out in front of him. Now can this newcomer Joe England, this chief work? What a shot! Crikey Moses, where did that get him? Medic, please. Oh dear. You got to be tough, you got to be strong, you got to be brave, and Paddy hit that like a rocket. So we'll just make sure the medic has a look at him before we go on, I think, unless he says he's okay. Where's the medic? We need to have him looked at, please. Thank you. Here comes the medic now. He's just going to give him a check over, but that must have hurt. Wow, a real stinger. And Officer Cadet John T. Barlow, one goaler, felt the full force of the two goalers' backhand there. It's a rough, tough old game. And we've got some very keen players who've got their kit here who want to get in the action. Nick. So here we go. So we've got Nick Cowley there in the yellow hat. Who's he speaking to? Is that Nick Perry there, is it? Royal arm, Polo players. Anyway, Barlow, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was a really nasty knock from long range. And they're made of tough stuff, these Barlows. His uncle was originally in the Household Cavalry, and John T, first time in any sort of army or service colours here today. Line up, and lovely little backhander. He's going to sit up well for Paddy Self. Now he's going to go on the charge, I'm sure, but he's not going to get very far with Alex Jenkins bearing down on him. But look at the control that Paddy's got here. He'll take him inside out. He'll take him inside out. There's the play. Oh, well done. And that was good stuff, but he'll have another go. He got away with that. Bit too casual, I think, but never mind. Alex Jenkins all over him like a rash. 5 plays 3. Sands of time beginning to drain away. That's a great shot too. Now, what's Morby going to do? Is he going to back it? Yo, and he's put it wide. He gave it the right shot on the backhand and opened his stick and banged it back, but it went wide. It went wide. So Zach Coleman takes it in on a broiling hot day. And here comes now Amos Peterson. He's trying to get the ball down here, and he's going hell for leather. And he's going to try and get it. Alex now tries to, he's still on the case. This Chief Petty Officer in the US Navy. Alex, well played indeed. And they're trying to shut him down. This could be a goal. It could be a goal, but oh, it's a great goal. Great goal by Alex Jenkins. That's fantastic by the Petty Officer in the United States Navy from Virginia. Wow, we're not done yet here. We're not done yet here. 5 plays 4 in with 2.5 minutes to go. So the Armed Forces Polo Association have got to be on guard. That's the nature of polo. Rough, tough, wonderful game that it is. You've just got to keep your concentration. And the Americans coming back into it now. They'll swap ends again in front of the Gore-Tex sign. So here we go. Backed by Barlow. Burkers, but he's had his pocket pinched. Back will go Barlow. Backs it. Lovely stroke. But it comes off a pony. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Another opening for the American team. But Paddy Self, Will Morby rather, backs it. But there's nobody there. They've lost their shape a little bit here. But the Americans are making hay as they're making steady progress down, and Paddy just got caught out there. Now John T. Barlow's got to do his piece here. Can he get the backhand here? As he does, he puts it to the flank. There's a well-known ploy in polo in defence, take it wide. That's what they did there. And the whistle goes. Well done, Will Morby. One of the greatest Army coaches was a chap called Hugh Dorney, who was a 10th Hussar. And he, is that chukka? Yes, it is. Hugh Dorney always said, in defence, take it wide. In attack, take it down the middle. Have you seen Henry? Yeah,
so that's the end of the first chukka then, or the third chukka I should say, and the score standing at the moment of UK Armed Forces leading the American Forces team by 5 goals to 4. But it could be so close. Just taking a break obviously in between these chukkas, and well, it's really everything to play for. If you've been joining us right from the word go, you've been enjoying hopefully some really top class polo action here at Tedworth Park this afternoon. Our very first time ever live here on Forces News Facebook and our YouTube channel to bring you something a little bit different from we've ever done before on our sports broadcasts here on BFBS. Colonel Simon Ledger is the man who's been doing all the commentary and hopefully really enlightening you into how this sport actually works. It's a bit more complicated maybe than some of us perhaps thought to start with. But we are here as not only for this match, of course, but also for the Rundle Cup, which will be coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and that really is the culmination of the season, the Army-Navy match, the equivalent of Twickenham here for the fans of polo. We've already had various displays today before we came on air. We had parachute jumps, which was absolutely terrific to watch, and also a fly past from the US Air Force. It wasn't the Red Arrows this time, it was the US Air Force from a distance. They overflew us here in these wonderful blue skies around Hampshire and Wiltshire this afternoon, and people very much enjoying themselves in the warm sunshine, getting themselves out and about. As Simon Ledger said earlier, they've played matches in all sorts of weather conditions here down the years from I don't know if they've ever had snow, but they've certainly had lots of rain and wind. But there's not a lot of movements in the flagpole, shall we say, today, as you can see from that shot there, that it's almost as still as anything today, the temperature rising into the high 20s. Simon, if I could just very quickly bring you in. I know that you are just taking a quick break from your commentary at the moment. What have you made of that third chukka? Because it's all to play for.
Yeah, it is, and I told you it was a psychological third. I thought the Armed Forces Polo Association were going to nail it. Things went wrong for them, which happens in polo. Nasty blow to Officer Cadet Barlow, but you've got to be tough to play this game, and he didn't complain, and he got the full force of Paddy Selfs, and that put them off their stride a bit. And the Americans sensed an opportunity, so they got to go back. So Armed Forces have got to be very, very careful, and that's why the third period of play is so important. You can come back.
It's absolutely neck and neck. And tell me, I mean, they obviously change ponies regularly and often. How, on average in a match like this, how often would the players change their ponies?
Well, on a hot day like today, because it's so hot, they will have a double change per chukka. So they could be using, let's say, the pony they played for the first half of the first chukka in the second part of the third chukka. So they'll rotate the ponies through so they don't wear them out, because horse welfare is also very important. And the pony providers will dictate which pony can go out for a longer period or a shorter period. That's the way it works, especially in these conditions.
Okay, Simon, thank you very much.
No problem at all, John.
Doing an absolutely magnificent job helping us with our reporting today, as well as doing the commentary to all the masses here on the PA system. As you can see, the players are back out with fresh ponies, and of course we will be getting underway very shortly then for the fourth and final chukka here in this match, this opening game of the competition here today between the United States Forces and the UK Armed Forces. And of course, as we know, they are competing for a very famous old trophy, aren't they, today? The Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy, which is what is at stake. And very, very shortly we'll be underway then for the final part of this first match. And as I say, don't forget, at around 4 o'clock this afternoon, the main event here, as you could call it, the Rundle Cup, will be underway between the Army and the Navy.
All the girls here, and that's a great save by John T. Barlow, but I think that ball went over the back line. So, ladies and gentlemen, Armed Forces team today sponsored by Horace Hill. It's owned by Forfa Education. Queen's Royal Azar owns it, and he's an idea that he wants to support all those who are serving of any service towards their education, in order to reduce the costs of continuity education allowance. So they've got a lot to offer, and here comes now chance safety 60 from the 60-yard line, and we can see Zach Coleman eyes this one up, and he drives it, and it's going to be let out. Surely, yes it does. So wasted opportunity by Zach there. And I'm just going to nip down here and say hello to an old mate of mine, Jamie Snowden, who played in the first match. Jamie, I hope Lucy's all right, and good to see you. Good. And Jamie, the play reaches and then it bounces out of play. So there'll be a throw-in. Greet the players close up to the first, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a cheer. Come on, put your hands together. It's hot, dangerous work for both teams. And a special cheer for the American team who are playing on strange ponies on strange ground. Zach Coleman, lovely stroke by him. Bangs it up. Paddy Self will tail it. Oh, and it came off a pony. Now that had all the right idea. Now, what's Jonty Barley going to do? This young man who starts at Sandhurst, picked up by Paddy Self on the near side. That's a great bit of work. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to go for it. Lovely stroke. Look at the passing shot. Here comes Conor Burkus, his trooper, the Blues Rolls, coming down. Oh, and Barlow. Now Self trying to deliver the coup de grace in the fourth period of play. This is great. Oh, and he's ridden over it. Oh, well done indeed. Peterson takes it round. Amos is there. He got a tickle to that. So here we go. Zach Coleman in the red hat takes the ball up. Pay attention now, everybody. As oh, well done, Zach Coleman. Talking to his father at half-time. And the whistle goes. And Paddy Self sort of, I think, caught him. No, he comes over. They're going to have a chat about it. So those on the far side, please can you be very careful and watch for the balls because you're very close to the boards on the far side. And that's going to be a hit. So it's going to be against the Armed Forces Polo Association and a chance for the United States military team. And it's 5 playing 4. So have they opened the door to this Horace Hill sponsored team, Forfa Education? Our thanks to John Forsyth, later of the Queen's Royal Hussars, who founded this organisation, to say that the United States military team, just having a chat about it on the far side. And Joe England, Amos Peterson, Alex Jenkins and Zach Coleman now will be trying to get the ball in to force a result in this match here today. Now what's going to happen? Here we come. Peterson. Boom. And he gets the ball away. This petty officer, Alex, gets the ball away. Now I hope that teams are not going to tighten up here. They're going to get Barlow, flicks it away. Jonty Barlow. He's hassled, hassled by Zach Coleman. Did a good job. Paddy Self now. He'll be looking for another run that's perfectly capable of the two-goaler on the far side. And that's a good one. So here comes Will Morby. Will Morby puts it into trouble. He's bouncing off sticks. Whistle goes. And the shape is going out of the match. And they're just beginning to tighten up both teams as they know how important this match and the result is. So here we go. So it's going to be against the Armed Forces. They're committing too many mistakes now. Will this open the door and give great confidence to the US military team? I wonder. Here comes Zach Coleman. Chatting to his father earlier, he said to me that they'd missed their chances and now they've got an opportunity. I wonder, and they're going to have to be careful now, the Armed Forces. Here comes Zach Coleman. Well done, Jonty Barley. Jonty Barley, that was a great bit of work by him, but it's going to be returned by Alex Jenkins. Good bit of work. Now, who's going to get there first? Who's going to get there first? And there is the ball, and it's a great goal. The US military back in action here. They draw level with about 4 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go perhaps. And that's a good stroke by Amos Peterson. And I did predict it. And so did Zach's father when I spoke to him at half-time. 5 plays 5. Which way is it going to go? And are they going to have a pony break? They are. Quite right too. It's a very hot day out there. Yeah. We're coming right down to it. 5 all. By the way, we don't have
I'm just hearing from the organisers, we don't actually have to have a positive result either way, so a draw would be good enough today, but I suspect we've got some more goals to come in this match somehow. But as they take the pony break halfway through this final chukka in this brilliant match here between the US military team and the UK Armed Forces, the score's absolutely dead level at 5-all just at the moment, and as we wait for play to restart, we'll just get that confirmed actually by Simon Ledger very shortly, that we won't be going to anything like a golden goal.
Questions about the match, do let me know. Are you enjoying it? It's fun, isn't it? Yeah. Could they win? No. If you've got any questions, do come and ask me later on. Nice to see you. What fun. Hey. So, the United States military now. Joe Johnson, Amos, Alex, Zach up against this experimental team of Trooper Connor Burks from the Royal Horse Guards Dragoons, playing his commanding officer's ponies. First ever match. And then John T. Barlow playing a 2 officer cadet. Starts Sandhurst in September. Major Will Morby with the green hat, playing a good game at 3, and then Paddy Self, now on a nice smart looking grey, the King's Royal Hussar, who leaves the army later this year, as Justin Stannard White, unused to running at all, skips over the boards, and here we go, back behind the line, well jumped, and here we go. Picked up by Zach Coleman as they take the ball up in front of us here, and here we go now. Barlow, this young man from Bristol University OTC, here we go, and he's going to cut it. What a goal! Oh, what a shot! I thought he was going to get away with that, but now Paddy Self picks it up. It's his line, it's his line, it's his line now. You can imagine you're driving up the lane of the motorway and that irritating Golf GTI comes and cuts you up. What's going to happen? Hey? Foul, foul, foul. And a lucky break for the Brits, I tell you. Anyway, we'll see what happens now. So, the umpires are going to have to sort that one out. So, they gather together, and I'm afraid back go the United States military team. And we'll have to see how this one ends up. I think I know which way it's going to go, but he's still got to get the ball between the flags. He's still got to get the ball between the flags. 5 plays 5. We've got, what have we got there? 3 minutes, perhaps 4 minutes left of the 7 minutes, and the bell will end the match. No 30 seconds added here. So no pressure on Captain Paddy Self then. Here he goes. Boom! And it's a great goal. Paddy Self scores! And that's a great penalty taken from the 30-yard line. And Paddy Self finds the flags. That's his 4th goal today. And that makes it 6-5. We're coming down to the vital time in the match. Now, Paddy, as I'm sure you heard me earlier, was 7 months in Iraq, working in the headquarters in Baghdad. Only got back a month or so ago, and a very fine polo player and a very fit man, previously adjutant of his regiment throughout COVID and elsewhere, and sadly he's chosen to leave the service at the end of this year. We shall miss him. So, fine officer, fine man, plays hard, and he's coaching the Army team after this match in the Rundle Cup against the Royal Navy. So here we go, as he lines them up for the... Now what he'll be seeking to do is to try and pin the United States military team down in their half, because your chances of fouling in your own half deepen, and If you make a mistake, he goes right forward to the 60-yard line, if not further. So he just giving his instructions to his team. Jonty Barlow wearing 2 in the purple hat with the blue trim, and Will Morby with the green, and young trooper Connor Burks. His first ever polo match, and I must say he's done jolly well. His commanding officer has lent him his ponies, the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment, on their annual summer camp at Holcombe in Norfolk. And I asked Tom whether Burkes could play, and he did. And I said, well, what about ponies? And he said, don't worry, I'll lend him mine. Isn't that generous of a commanding officer? And Burkes has only been playing polo a year. He's doing jolly well. So, Paddy Self. Boom, lovely daisy cutter, as they say in Australia. Been out there commentating a bit, and that's a great pickup. That's a great pickup indeed, as now they set off for the Americans now, scenting blood, and there's an opportunity. Here he goes, it's that man again. PRD officer Alex Jenkins, he's done all... Oh! And the bouncing ball eluded him there. Never mind. Here comes Paddy Self. Paddy Self takes round the corner as Zach Coleman trying to get to him. Jonty Barlow. And has he let him come round? Yes, he has. Careful. And he's got to get off. So he let that one slip. He's had his pocket picked, but Zach couldn't take advantage of it yet. But he will this time. He's a very handy player. Is this gentleman cadet from Texas A&M University. Paddy Self says, I'm not going to be beaten. And Leon Allen, the umpire, has to duck under that one. Here comes Will Morby. Morby, the Royal Artilleryman, turned. Here he goes on his own pony. Oh, Morby on fire. Now he's got to find the angle. My goodness me, who's travelling, this Royal Yeoman. No, impossible shot, but never mind. That pony's got 2 speeds. It's got flat out and stop. So he just went for it, and why not? And 1 times out of 100 he might have done that, because he's not a 9-goal player or Adolfo Cambiaso. But it's handed the advantage back to the US military team. Why? Because they've now got the knock-in down the other end, and they've got a chance to string something together. It's all about tactics. Maybe what he should have done was pulled up, turned to his right and backed it into the centre of the ground, but very difficult indeed to do. And now there's hassle. Oh dear, he didn't mean to do that. So now the AFPA will try and pin them down, the US military team in their own half. And the ball squirts and bumps and balls out of the way as Joe Johnson trying to, Joe England I should say, and it's backed away by Burkes, and it runs out of play. So it's going to be another knock-in, but the sands of time beginning to drain away for the US military team, and they'll take it out to the flank, and that's what he'll do. He'll run it up here. Well, Zach Coleman, you watch. There you go. Bangs it down. Not quite the shot he wanted, as Joe England, this Special Forces Black Hawk pilot, and Paddy Self nails it. Now the young man will take it on. Well done, Connor Burks. Could this be a famous goal for the -1 goal player? And it's goal! My goodness me, look at the angle. Now, if you were going down the M3 and somebody did that, as I pointed out the other day, and you crossed that lane, boom, you would have ripped his wing off. And the car would have probably fallen apart, because it's a rusty Golf GTI. So, trouble. And that's why it's very important psychologically. You notice how the armed forces got bogged down in their own half, and the attacking teams tends to press, which means that the defending team often make a mistake. Now that's exactly what they have done here. The AFPA said, come on, pressure, which the Army polo coach Gaston Devrient, who's not with us here today, used to say to all the teams abroad in India, in Mongolia and elsewhere where I've been with this team, with these teams, pressure, and that was pressure. So Burks, does he get it? Yes, it was a goal. Well done, the young man. Well done, Trooper Connor Burks. Or did it go wide?
What happened? It went wide. Oh my goodness me! It wasn't his day after all. As Zach Coleman now breathes a sigh of relief. We got about. Could that be a mistake? Here we go. It's Joe England. Joe England now on the charge. This and the bouncing ball and got a tickle to it. Now Barlow picks it up, and that was very quick reactions by the young officer cadet in his first ever service match. Now they've got the two of them. Barlow got all the time in the world. And let's see if he keeps his head. That's nice play by the young one-goaler. And is that it? What happened? Why was there a whistle? Sorry, I can't hear you. Somebody's going to tell me. Chukka. That's it. Was that the end of the match? Yes, it is. So, oh dear, it came to a sudden end. We couldn't hear the bell. Is that 6? Plays 6. I thought that we were even Stevens. But anyway, I'll just check with the Polo manager here. So we believe it's 6-5, 6-5, ladies and gentlemen. So the teams will now take a circuit. And that match came to an end rather suddenly because the scoreboard, remember, has broken down. The motor caught fire this morning behind that board. And I felt very sorry for Justin Sannett-White when he told me. So I believe it's 6. I'm going to ask the umpires to come over, ladies and gentlemen. And look, there's Paddy's mother. Hi, Joanne. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Looking as brown as ever. So I'm going to ask the Leon Allen to come out and just tell me what the result is.
Yeah, just getting confirmation. Just getting confirmation there. The final score is 6-5 to the UK Armed Forces.
6-5, the Armed Forces Polo Association win of Trooper Conor Burks of the Royal Horse Guards Dragoons. And in Major Will Morby of the Royal Yeomanry, Officer Cadet John D. Barlow and Captain Paddy South of the King's Hussars. So that's great. But as they come past, please rise and salute both teams. It's hot work out there. It's a rough, tough old game. Takes a lot of skill. You've got to be very fit. You've got to have confidence. You've got to be absolutely brave. And that's why polo was adopted by the British Army all those years ago in India. Hence the Indian Cavalry Officers Association trophy. Here we go. There he is. John T. Barlow, Trooper Conor Burks, Will Morby and Paddy South. All in a very natty pair of sunglasses. And now the American team. Please give them a great cheer. Beth Biles, Joe England, Amos Peterson, Alex Jenkins and Zach Coleman. They did really well on Strange Ponies. Tomorrow is another day, another day, another day. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a pause, grab something to drink, take a walk.
While Simon is just doing that final send-off then for all the masses gathered here.
Here we go. We've got about 25 minutes before the Randall Cup, ladies and gentlemen. No prize giving for this match, so you go
25 minutes
and get the shopping done. Go and get the shopping done. Yeah, you're going on holiday next week, aren't you? You need a new diamond brooch to impress everybody.
So there we are then. That is the final result here in this opening match here today. Just very quickly get Simon in for a very brief comment then on what was a terrific performance by the UK Armed Forces team there in the end, holding off the Americans who were really pushing their way, pushing it really hard to get themselves back into that game. The scoreboard had a bit of a sense of humour failure, shall we say, but the final score was 6-5 to the UK Armed Forces team. I'll just step out here in front of the camera just very briefly and just tell you that we will be back in about 25 minutes time for the final game here today, of course, which is the Rundle Cup between the Army and the Navy. The Army are the defending champions, of course. Can the Royal Navy pull themselves back into this competition? Competition that's been running since 1910 and only been held up by wartime and once in peacetime, and that was, of course, in 2020 because of COVID. But as you can see here today, we've got lots and lots of people here enjoying themselves, enjoying enjoying the sunshine, and most importantly, enjoying the polo. We hope you'll be back with us in around half an hour's time for the Rundle Cup 2022.
Jason from Caterpillar. Could you come to the commentary stand, Jason of Caterpillar, please?